Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Fair Game. Where we last left off, we were watching, or rather playing through, Flashback, The Quest for Identity. We have just reached Stage 2, and it's time to continue this adventure. As we are now in New Washington, which is apparently Titan's only inhabited city, we're going to go through a much more difficult area in the game that, frankly, puts the previous one to shame in just about every category. The enemies will be hard. There will be more enemies, harder ones, and we will finally have an idea of what the fuck's going on. And it's here we encounter our first new enemy. Yep, these are cops. Unlike the regular enemies, cops A can fly and B are armed with shotguns. For the most part, they will miss. And we just saved Ian. Yes, the same Ian from the Holocube earlier. Thanks, Conrad. Those cops would have had my hide. Well, I suppose you don't remember your old pal Ian. Take a seat. We'll fix that shortly. And here we get a very long cutscene. Basically, this kind of fills in a lot of the gaps that the manual really didn't fill in, but the general gist is that Conrad is a member of the GBI, or basically the Galactic Federation version of the FBI. He was at the time a field scientist, and he was testing out a new device that was originally intended to allow people to check for things like hidden explosives and stuff in the forms of a molecular density scanner. However, it quickly was determined that there was people with molecular density about 1,000 times the norm mixed in with the general population. In other words, aliens. Conrad's subsequent investigations into this promptly led him afoul of his superiors and quickly caused various individuals to start hunting him down in an attempt to prevent him from getting word out about the ongoing conspiracy, as we see here by this attempted vehicular homicide. Knowing that this was going to be a problem, Conrad decided to record the hologram and later send his memory to Ian as a backup of sorts. This is because he knew that at the time, he's still fairly high profile, so it's unlikely they'd try to kill him outright. And he actually proved to be right on this. Kind of redundant using a sniper rifle for that, isn't it? To just launch a stun pulse? I'm probably overthinking it. By the way, yes, that is the same vehicle from the introductory cutscene. And now we finally see what led to the original of the original intro scene, where Conrad wakes up a bit unexpectedly after they erased his memory. Here, Conrad took off. And that's what led to the intro scene that you saw earlier. At this point, Conrad asks, Ian, what do I have to do to get to Earth? And Ian tells him that the cost of the ticket is astronomical, and that the only way for him to get one would be to take part in Cyber Tower. Cyber Tower is, of course, a television game show, and the winner gets either 10,000 credits or a ticket to wherever in the galaxy they want to go. Conrad then asks if Ian can provide false papers, and Ian tells him that, while he can't per se, his friend Jack would be able to. He also tells Conrad that he was able to outfit Conrad with a force field watch. The force field is a useful little option, which frankly is going to see an inordinate amount of use from here on outward. Basically, it generates a short-lived little barrier shield that will absorb any projectile that hits it. It turns fighting cops from a total pain in the ass into a complete joke. Unfortunately, a lot of other enemies, mostly of particular note, the mutants from here on out will also be carrying force fields. Thankfully, they're not particularly intelligent about their use. It's worth noting on Expert, the mutants are a shitload more intelligent. They use cover more effectively, they use the force field more often, etc. There's also more enemies in general, mind you. We're playing through on normal, though. With that, we fixed the little switch, and now we can head up topside. New Washington centers around 4 hub areas, each one being one of the subway stations. And this guy just gave us a map of the city. We'll be able to check those out at every subway station, though, so it's not really all that useful. It's still a nice item to have. And here we're at Asia Station, and we're going to be heading to America Station. There's 4 of these. There's Asia, America, Africa, and Europa Station. Each one with its own various little things that it has added. America Station is most notable for having a bar. Or cafe, as it was changed in the SNES and Genesis release. And here we have the waiter, or bartender. I'd like to speak to Jack. Oh yeah? Jack's not here. I've been sent by my friend Ian. Okay, Jack's waiting for you outside. That was easy! I love 16-bit game logic. There you go. And there's Jack. I'm Jack. You after some false papers? Yes, and as quickly as possible. 1,500 credits. 1,500? Yeah, I'm taking a big risk here. But I don't have enough. Go to the unemployment office. You'll find work there. And come back to me when you've got the money. I would normally insert that kids ever famous "we've got to have money" quote here, but I really don't see a point. But yeah, this entire chapter generally centers around us pulling down various odd jobs in order to get the money to afford papers to participate on Cyber Tower so we can get a ticket to go to Earth. God, I love video games. Next up, Africa Station. And here I'll show you the map. Very useful. It shows you where you are. The small map that you carry around does not have the "You Are Here" marker. Africa Station is notable for having only having 3 things: Restricted Area 2, the Travel Agency, and the Administrative Center where you get your papers. Or work permit, in this case. I'd like a work permit. First floor. I'd like a work permit. No, it's not here. See window C. I'd like a work permit. No, it's not here. See window B. I'd like a work permit. Good. Okay, the boss will see you now. Fucking... I'd like a work permit! Oh, there's no problem getting a permit. I need your ID card. So we give him the ID card. It's not actually explained in-game, but that guy we saved in the last mission is this guy. I have read this, yeah, I have verified it. This is the guy who we saved in the last mission. He works here at the administrative center. That's why he let the ID card thing slide. Which is kinda cool. One good turn deserves another and all that. Alright, now that we got a work permit, we can actually start working. So next stop is Europa Station, home of the Cyber Tower game show and a photo kiosk. Also Restricted Area 3 and the Job Center. Again, this is what I love about video games. That is a photo kiosk. If you put 2 credits in there, you get a photo. It doesn't do anything, but you have more than enough money to spend by the time this is over with. Right now, we're going to head downstairs and make use of the energy charger. Get our shields back up to full. I have actually beaten this entire level without recharging my shields once, but I have never, not once, beaten this level without at least taking some damage at some point. Mostly on the 5th mission, which, as you're going to see, is kind of bullshitty. Titan Space Lines. Receipt of parcel at the spaceport, Station Asia, and transportation to Titan Travel Agency, Station Africa. Salary, 100 credits. Very simple, right? Just insert your work permit. I like that the work permit actually has its own little animation of being thrown into the slot. Worth noting, in the original PC release, Cyber Tower was called Death Tower. Apparently that was too hardcore. God damn it, Nintendo of America. Then again, it was in like that in the Genesis version, too. So you can't trust anyone anymore. Worth noting, after this mission, you can talk to the woman at the spaceport and ask her how much a ticket is. She will tell you it is 50,000 credits. If you somehow cheat or hack the game to get that many credits, you can indeed buy a ticket and skip the entire level ahead. But there's no actual way to normally get that in normal gameplay. Cheaty fucking bastard. Alright, now that we have the parcel, or parcel, or whatever the fuck it is, we take this little thing, which looks like a jewelry box, all the way to Station Africa and drop it the fuck off. The simplest mission, this is also the easiest, and really doesn't have any, actual stakes to it. This is a stark contrast to the rest of the missions in this one, with the exception of Mission 4, all of which are comparatively combat-heavy. Especially Mission 5. Oh crap, I forgot about that guy. Yeah, that guy tries to ambush you. It's worth noting the cops are kind of hit or miss. They are very easy if you have the force field, and they are a nightmare if you do not have it. Well then, have you brought me to the parcel? Why do I keep calling it parcel? It's parcel. Now I know I've been hanging around British people at my bus yard too long. Or French. Whatever. Having dropped off the parcel, it's time to head back to Europa Station for another job. Because that one only paid us 100. It's worth noting that all the missions after the first one, once you complete them, you'll automatically teleport back to the job center's teleportation chamber. That's kind of cool. Although I've yet to figure out how the teleport chamber just knows that you need to be teleported there. I mean, it's not like Conrad's carrying a teleport homer. So, Again, I'm probably overthinking it. User Vital Corp. Escort a VIP to the research center. The VIP will wait for you at their entering to restricted area 2. You'll need to be armed as the area may be dangerous. Salary, 300 credits. And we validated the mission. This one's a little bit harder and has actually a couple of enemies to kill, but for the most part still isn't that difficult. We will be seeing a lot more of the crystal key locks in this level, though. So yeah, apparently in the far future, Titan's hottest game show is one where people try to climb a gigantic tower of death, killing everything in their path for fun and profit. Actually, that does sound kind of awesome. I'd watch the shit out of that. You don't think that'd do well? In this sick fucking country? Okay, I gotta stop quoting George Carlin. Next stop's Africa Station. America. Africa. Okay, here we go. Dedicated work area 2. I mean, restricted area 2. Alright, that's the VIP, but we can't actually do anything to get him where he wants to go until we open up the way. Most of this level's pretty straightforward, this particular area that we have to go through, but there's a lot of trickier things. Like, there's our first encounter with a mine. Fortunately, you can jump over him. There we have a mutant who will just shoot the hell out of you when the second you're on the same plane as hay. Fortunately, we've dealt with mutants by now, and we know how to deal with this one. And we take his key. There's an elegant-looking little crystal glass. I want to know how those work! That opens up that door. Kill another one of them. We head this way. And we encounter another new enemy here, the remote. Very small and very annoying. Remotes take an inordinate amount of abuse to actually put down, and they attack you by charging at you with a little taser blast. Fortunately, because they're powered by repulsor lifts, they cannot go below, like, I think it's 3 feet in height. So while they can fly around and move between floors, if you duck, they can never touch you. And here we got another crystal key. Man, these things are like, you know, everywhere these days. Oops. And the door's open, and now we can get the VIP and bring him back down here. Lead on, young man. Take me to the research center. The mission from here on out is an utter cakewalk. Quite literally. You're just walking and taking the guy to the research center. Now that you can actually follow. To the best of my knowledge, it's actually not possible to kill the guy because he can't follow you anywhere. Because the farthest he can get is that door with the pressure plate. So he can never actually enter harm's way, which, now that I think about it, is kind of clever. And this is the research center. Thank you for your help. I arrived safely and there's no longer any danger. Mission completed. You earned 300 credits. Yeah, now we teleport back home. Or to the job center in this case. Recharge the Duracell shield battery. Piss off the Prophet Muhammad already. Protein pill reference. Okay. Now for the next mission. This one's a little bit more involved than the previous two. User Titan TV. A model cyborg 2.1 duplicator has escaped. We believe it may have had outside assistance. Your mission is to find it and eliminate it before the virus controlling its bio-brain can multiply. You'll be supplied with a photograph of the individual. Be careful, this machine is dangerous. Salary, 400 credits. This mission introduces the first of an enemy you're going to see a lot of in the upcoming levels, and it's an enemy called a replicant. It is, putting it simply, a cyborg construct. I can basically describe them as enemy Conrads because they have basically all of Conrad's abilities, plus a few more. We show the photo to this guy. I've seen that guy at the cafe before. So now we obviously head to America Station and check it out. This is an elevator that gets a lot of people killed. Because the elevators don't automatically reset, if you take the first elevator down earlier in an earlier mission, when you teleport back, that elevator will still be at the bottom of the shaft. That's a fatal fall right there, as is the one right next to it. If I had $1 for every time I was growing up and I fell, like, because I wasn't watching where I was going when I came back because I thought the elevator was going to be there, silly me, I'd be a very rich man. And here we're at America Station. Fuck yeah. Now we take the photograph to the guy in the back of the cafe. Who's right over here? The one who's drinking heavily. That guy. I know that guy. He has a friend in the police. Where can I find this friend? Go to the restricted area 1. I believe he's on duty there. But be careful. Those guys are mean. Mean. Oh, wow. Well, no, to be perfectly honest, almost every cop in this game is fucking ineffably corrupt, so... yeah, there's that. Side B021 wants to make a deal with you. He'll be waiting outside the back of the cafe. I was a bit surprised to see that cop standing there and just not hostile for once. However, I knew I couldn't trust the guy because he's already used the same enemy model as several other guys. Also this. Yeah, that was an ambush. Tried to have you killed. Don't shoot, I'm not Side B021. His hideout's down below. His pal, the cop, has a key. Pal. There's a word that needs to be used more often in the English language. Like I said, cops in this game are pathetically easy when you have the force field, and they are a nightmare without it. And he dropped the key, which we will pick up. Yes, it's another crystal block key. One for the whole family right here. As I was saying, replicants can do basically everything you can do, plus a bit more. They have a tendency to play dead if they get knocked a far distance. They do have the ability to accelerate themselves to incredibly fast speeds to either approach or get away. They do have the ability to pretty much jump and maneuver over almost any terrain in the game. So basically anywhere you can go, they can go. You start seeing them, this is the first time you see them, and you'll start to see them a lot more in Cyber Tower. And I know what you're thinking, wasn't there only supposed to be one? And yes, there is, but we're playing on normal, so there's 2. They take about 6 or 7 shots to kill, making them the second most durable enemy in the game after the morph enemies, which we will encounter much later on. The easiest way to kill them is to get on level with them and just keep shooting them against a wall. And we did this. Awesome. Now we have the mission that drives literally everyone crazy. I am dead serious. This one is so hit or miss and entirely depends on your ability to know the movement controls. If you know them all, it's not hard. It does, however, raise a very interesting point. The generator which supplies New Washington is encountering serious problems. A maintenance check has revealed that one of the 3 boards on the main computer has been altered. Your mission is to replace this board. However, you only have 1.5 minutes before the whole installation self-destructs. The teleport on the level below will take you directly into the heart of the complex. Salary, 500 credits. What would happen if nobody took this mission? Just the whole city explodes? Really? You don't have people for that? You fucking put that on an anonymous jobs board? A fucking plus, New Washington. Alright, this is, without any doubt, one of the single hardest missions in the game. Mostly because This one, however, isn't, like, impossibly hard. This one's hard only because you need to know all the controls and how to use them. I happen to be very good at this because I've done this so many times and I'm so familiar with literally every... You literally need to know every form of running, jumping, and ducking in the game in order to quickly get through these passages. Otherwise, you will either fall into a death trap or run out of time. Believe it or not, it's actually possible to get past that without losing any shields by ducking before the thing and rolling under it using the pistol, but it'll cost you about 5 seconds. The way I'm doing it is literally the fastest way in the entire game to get that, to get the time, to get there with time to spare. And there we have a rock, kind of a bonus prize for this. And ironically, that little fucking thing is going to be incredibly helpful later on. The terminal card is used on one of the 3 terminals, but you never know which one until you actually get to this in this game, in a given game. In truth, it's determined by what difficulty setting you're playing on. On easy, it's slot B. On normal, it's slot C. On expert, it's slot A. Or so I have read. Alright, we're almost to the end. This is the last mission, and it is by far the hardest one in the game. User New Washington City. The restricted Area 3 has been invaded tonight by a colony of mutants, and we fear they will attack the population. Your mission is to clean up this zone. Salary, 600 credits. This area, I'm not gonna lie, is extremely difficult. You have to deal with an entire base full of mutants with no ability whatsoever for shield recharges or resupplies. In other words, you gotta do the whole thing on one life with no mistakes. And there's a save point. There's a reason they throw that there. You're gonna need it. Normally, when that other one shoots the other one, then that's pretty much that, but today my reflexes were a little slower than they should have been. Jump over the gap. Climb down. Climb down again. Again! Only surviving here because of the force field. And we pick up another crystal block K. Score. Another 2 mutants for us to deal with. Bingo. There's a rock right there, which we will pick up and proceed to use immediately. I have no idea how to get past this one without suffering some kind of HP loss. Either the bomb's gonna hit you, or the mutant's gonna shoot you. Generally, I found getting hit by the bomb is preferable, because it can knock you towards the mutant, which makes it a little easier. And it gives you just enough invulnerability to finish him off. See what I said? On normal, on easy, this is kind of tricky. On normal, this is an asshole area. Alright. This is an area where, until I discovered how to do this, and this is mostly a glitch, I thought, honestly, there was no way to get past this without taking a hit and or dying. The key, throw a rock. The first mine set off automatically, the second mine set off by the rock. Pick up our little lucky charm / rock right there. Oh wait, I forgot to do something important. all the way at the top, you see that little pressure plate? You gotta activate that. It opens up the hatch below. Like I said, this area is frickin' difficult. This is almost last area of the game difficult compared to like some of the areas, because this is just non-stop. There's no healing stations. There's no, there's no ability. There's no recovery time here. It's just difficult. And here we have another cop to kill. Normally they die in 2 shots. This one decided to catch me down by having 3. Which means we have no shields left. Which means if I get hit once, I'm dead. So, let's try to avoid that happening. Pick up the K. And 100 credits. Which is apparently right there. Alright, the laser turret's now activated, as you saw earlier, so we gotta roll past it. Awesome, killed him. Oh god, another cop. Fortunately, these ones are pretty easy. Again, since now we know that those ones took 3 hits. That just got a little easier. And the last enemy here, it's a remote. Single most annoying enemy in the game, in my opinion. And the mission's complete, and we earned 600 credits. Told you that was hard. We only barely made that. Now that our Duracells recharged, we have more than sufficient credits. 2,000, in fact, we currently have. Which is more than enough to not only buy the papers, but also enough for us to fuck around with a little. So, some guy named Jack arranged to meet you by the cafe. Use that on the coin slot, and we get a photo. In the original computer version, you needed this for the papers. You don't need it in this. And there's that frickin' elevator. I swear to God. So many times that thing has gotten me killed. Next up, America, fuck yeah. You know what I just realized? This may be the second longest Fair Game episode I have ever put up on YouTube. I think the only one... Actually, I think it is the longest. I think this one actually eclipses the Snake's Revenge one that I did. Huh, go figure. Well, now we take our the money to Jack. Jack gives us our papers. I apologize for this little section right here. Here I actually got a phone call. If I remember correctly, it was Kid that called me around. No, it was JPEG. JPEG called me around this time. Now we head back to where Jack was. What accent did I use for Jack again? Fuck. I gotta keep my accents straight for the random bit characters. Well, whatever. He gives us the ID, and we give him the credits. Now that we have our papers, which look exactly like the ID card, but they're apparently a special ID card, which is designed to fool people, I guess, so he can get on TV and get shot at. Yay! I'm gonna be on television! I'm gonna be on television! Compared to the last two levels, Cyber Tower is just refreshingly straightforward. Puzzle solving is relatively light on it, and it's mostly combat and working your way through various levels as you try to work your way up the tower. Trade in our papers. And we are now on Cyber Tower. There's no little scene for that one, which kind of been depressing. Anyway, that's it for this one. See you next time.